Hi everyone and welcome back to past subscribers and welcome to any new people that have stumbled across our channel. So today I'm doing a 12x12 layout for the Scrap the Boys challenge, and the challenge over there is to scrap a photo of your boys with you. And being the school holidays, me and my boys muck around a lot, and this is a picture of me and my youngest Will, who also happens to have the name Monkey. Now I'm going to tell you this because it's going to make sense when you see my title. Now, Will has had the nickname Monkey for as long as I can remember. I can't remember how he got the nickname Monkey, come to think of it, which is pretty strange. He also has the nickname Gremlin, but that's a whole different story. If you actually look up the meaning of the word Gremlin, it is a small mischievous monster with sharp teeth. Will got this nickname when he was about 10 months old because he used to bite the top of his brother's thongs, and you just see this perfect little crescent bite mark. So that's how he got Gremlin. But Monkey, I can't remember. But yeah, so Will, you'll often hear me refer to him as Monkey. So anyway, long story short, telling you that little tidbit so when you see my title, yeah, it sort of ties in. Anyway, first thing I did was I'm gessoing my page because I don't want the mist that I'm going to apply to soak into the page. I want it to smush around a bit with the packaging technique. So that's what I'm doing. Now you see me blotting with the paper towel and a wet one. The one thing I don't like when you use gesso and then use a mist of some kind over the top is that it doesn't soak into the paper, which is the whole point of gessoing it. It just sits on top and it pulls, and if you're pulling away the plastic in the wrong angle, it just looks weird. Now I know you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but it leaves these funny smush marks. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to dab it away and make it look a little more random. Like we say on this channel, we fake the random. So yeah, that's why you see me messing around with it. And this is where I decided it's just not bright enough. It's a bit too dull, but I don't want it too in your face bright. So I get my London Blue Dilutions. And what I decide to do with that is something I've been trialing out in my art journal the past few days. I mix it with some white colour shine, so it sort of tones it down and makes it a bit more pastel. Only thing is, when I always first do it, I always use way too much. So you do see me use the excess in my art journal just to try and clear it off a bit and add a bit more white. But it's a really good technique to tone down a colour. See how there's just a lot of colour on that plastic, but it definitely tones down the blue, the very vibrant Dilutions blue, and tones it down a little bit. It looks really cool. I love this effect. It's a good way to get more colour out of your mists if you want to try something new. So I started out with trying to keep the tone of this layout very light, so no black. I was hoping to use grey and white instead of black. So when I go to add my splatters, I use my white ink instead of my black. I do end up using a bit of black on it. I did not like this layout to begin with. It just wasn't working for me no matter what I tried. In the end, I actually do end up loving it. So it just a few of the little touches just weren't working for me. So in the end, I was really happy with it, thankfully. This is where I want to bring in some of that pink, and I decided to use this paper from Cocoa Vanilla to bring in some different colours. I'm going to mat it on my photo on white first, just to give it a thin white border, just to bring it off of that pink paper first, to give it another matte. Then give it a nice big chunky border on the pink, just to bring in a bit more colour. Now I know there's pink and teal and mint all over this, but mostly I'm going for the pink from this and with the blue of my lovely background. See the tapping fingers? That's what I do when I think. Like I said, I struggle with this layout. So I'm tapping, I'm looking at my desk, I'm looking to see what I can do because I'm not happy at all. The background just wasn't working for me. So I decided to go through my binders of stencils in the hope of pulling something out. First my 12x12, couldn't find anything. And I was looking for a heart stencil, and I don't have a 12x12 heart stencil, but I do have a 4x4. So I decided to use this one. my modelling paste and put it in the corners of the layout. As you can see, I'm not very good with cleaning my stencils. You must clean your stencils, take good care of them. And would you believe I didn't even clean it after I used it this time either, so it's even got more modelling paste on it now. But anyway, so when I did this, still wasn't happy with it. I really did not like it. It just wasn't working for me. I don't know why, I just wasn't feeling it at all. But I continue on, and yeah, in the end, it comes together nicely. But you will see my lovely fail in a minute. I decided to add a bit more pink and put some splatters around those hearts, or on top of those hearts, and then dry it with some paper towel. And because I can't help myself and I'm too impatient, I didn't dry the modelling paste properly, so the paper towel does stick to the modelling paste. Watch and see what I do. It's very, very bad. And there you have it, which of course leaves a lovely little print all through my hearts, but hey, we just go with it. Not much you can do about it, no point crying, so let's just continue on with the layout and try and cover it up later. So what am I doing? I'm about to stick my photo down, yes, so I decide to go roughly in the middle, as you'll see, double peeling off the double-sided tape, trying to move it up as high as possible without it looking weird, so I can cover up as many of those mangled hearts as I can. This is a cut file that I really, really liked, and I wanted to use it as an embellishment. The white wasn't working for me, it wasn't standing out enough, so I get some mist, spray it on my craft sheet, and then literally just rub it through and put some colour on there. I didn't want it totally sprayed in the pink. I wanted sort of like a watercolour effect, but then I decide it's not bright enough, so I go and get some of my bubblegum Dilutions, which of course is too bright, but we go with it. Do it again. In the end, it gives it a good little ombre look. I use 3 shades of pink, and it really works. It doesn't look too bad. So then I decide to go with the pink again, but I don't water it down this time, so it gives it another shade of pink, or the Heidi Shine pink, sorry, again, which I watered down the first time I used it, and the second time I don't, so it gives it another shade of pink, and it looks really, really cool. The end result is actually really, really nice. You should really give it a go. It's a good way to get different shades of colour on an embellishment, in my case. It's really cool. See, here we go again. Just gonna add a little bit. Nah, let's go for it and just smoosh away. And the best part is, it'll always look different. Every time you do this technique, it'll be different. So cleaning up my mess on my craft mat and then drying it. Be careful if you use a heat gun on top of a craft sheet, because the craft sheet does get hot. I learnt that one. And yes, then we're going to attach it to the layout. Now right now, to me it looks a little weird. I can't figure out why. Well, I do in the end, but I didn't want to use black. I know giving this a border would make it pop off the background a bit better and give it more definition, but I didn't want to use black. So I do try grey. I don't like it. So in then you'll see what I do. But right now we're going to work on the title. Now, sorry, back to my original story, my little tidbit about Monkey's name. My boys have autism, and they're both very, very different boys. My oldest loves affection, and Will, my youngest, this one here, doesn't. He doesn't like to be touched. But if you can get him in a good mood, he'll come up to you and he will give you a decent hug. And often we'll be rolling around in the bed, and you know, when he's giving out cuddles, we take them. So I'll squish into him and go, "You're so snuggly," and that's how he got Snuggle Monkey. So that's when I saw this photo, I thought that would be perfect. It would be a perfect title for this layout. So that's where I got the title from, and I wanted to use the silver because I was going for the light pink, the light blue, and the silver. It was just a colour scheme that appealed to me. And then, yes, I'm matting it on a piece of pink cardstock. Not something I thought I would ever do on a layout I've ever done. I've never done it, actually. But, yeah, so adding it to pink cardstock just to give it a bit more grounding, a bit more definition. I find when I do mixed media on a layout, it's good to mount it, not only to stop the weaves, but also it just helps it look grounded, more more finished, I guess you could say. It's really hard to describe it, but I find that if it's not mounted, it just doesn't look finished for me. So I'm adding some wood veneer now. I didn't like adding another colour or another, what's the word? Not texture, just another element. But I do like the hearts and it does work. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. And then of course we have to add some bling. Boy layout or not, it's having bling. Bling works with everything. And especially with the pink and the love hearts in this. Even though it is for the Scrap the Boys challenge and it does have my son in it and it does have blue, I wanted to mix the boy with the feminine as well, because it is a challenge of scrap you with your boy. So this was my touch to adding the feminine and the pinks representing me, I guess you could say. That's where I try with the grey. I didn't want something as bold and in your face as black, because as you can see there's no black on this layout yet, but the grey just wasn't working for me. It wasn't enough. So I go get my good old Sharpie. Oh, I killed my Sharpie. This is my Sharpie pen. It is my favourite pen. And I bloody killed it. And it wasn't even the modelling paste that did it. Do you want to know what killed it? It was the Heidi Shine. I don't know why, but this pen just did not want to draw on that Heidi Shine. So you'll see I've got my little scrap paper down there scribbling, trying to get my pen to work. I think I kill it twice, but it lives again. No, by the end of it, I will and truly kill it. So I'm just outlining some of my hearts just to bring a bit of... Now I decided to bring in some black just to make a few of those hearts stand out more. Yeah, I didn't want to bring the black into the layout. I wanted to keep it light, but in the end, the black ends up being a good option. So I start with some hearts, and then I wanted to go around the XOXO, but I didn't want to give it a black outline. So I start by trying to give it like basically ink in the edges, but using a pen to do it. Didn't work very well for me. In the end, I do decide to draw around it, and it ends up being a very good decision because it actually doesn't look too bad. I was worried it would just make it look like it would make it stand out too much, and because there's not much black on the layout, I thought it would look weird and not go with the rest of the layout, but it ends up working really, really well. And it gives great definition to that XOXO, so it doesn't blend with the paper as much as it was, and you can definitely see it much better now. So it ends up working really well. See, this is where I think I killed my Sharpie. But I get it again. But I do end up throwing... Yep, see, I have a hissy fit and throw the pen, and I go get my paint pen. This one has trouble too. It's the bloody Heidi Shine. It's the ocean, and it did not like... Neither of these pens liked drawing on it. It was so funny and frustrating at the time. Hence the hissy fit and the pens going all over the place. So I'm going to mess around with this for a little bit, just because I keep having pen dramas. But once I'm done with this, I'm going to mat this layout on the pink cardstock. Not something I thought I would ever do. I'm still amazed I used a piece of pink cardstock. I have nothing against the colour pink. I absolutely love these two colours together. And some mood boards I've seen recently with these featuring these colours, the pink and the blue together, looks fantastic. I'm just not a user of pink much, which is very surprising. Actually, on a layout, I've not used much pink on a layout before, so I really love the way this layout came together. I love the pink and the blue together. And I loved, my favourite part is the XOXO, which I use 3 different shades of pink, so I'm really, really liking that. So yes, going to mat this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a different black pen. Yes, this will be the 3rd black pen on this bloody layout, and I'm going to draw around the white cardstock. I'm not going to draw a doodle border on the white. I'm going to draw where the white meets the pink, and it just adds a bit more of that black, subtle black, but not being too bold. I thought if I had a doodle border on the white, it would just be too bold and to stand out too much. So I thought by putting it around the white on the pink, it's just a very subtle, very, very subtle little element, and yeah, it works out well. And I'm pretty sure that's my layout. So let me know what you think in the comments below about this lovely voiceover, but mostly about my layout. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. I've actually been doing a lot of layouts lately and doing a lot of videos, but I'm not keeping up with the layouts and the videos together. So I have a few ready to go. Oh look, I forgot an element. See, this is where I decided to add some more black. I was cleaning up my desk and I found these little word phrases from a cut apart from Cocoa Vanilla, I think, that I got in a kit a couple months ago. And they were just too cute not to add on. What do they say? You are so loved and simply perfect. And the one at the top is going to say selfie, which it is. So it works well. Just brings in a bit more of that black and another little embellishment on the page. So yeah, that's my layout. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. And yeah, stick around for some more videos. It's almost the start of a new month, which means new kit process videos, and yeah, lots of new stuff coming. So stay tuned for more. I'll see you soon. Bye.